Welcome to the Provideam demo installation training video. In this video we're going to demonstrate the Provideam installation procedure. We're going to take it in 4 steps. 1, we're going to download the Provideam application from the Provideam website. We're going to install the Microsoft Internet Information Server, which will host our web pages. We're going to run the Provideam setup application, and then we're going to run the Provideam demo application, which will provide us with simulated data with which we can demonstrate the features of the Provideam application. So the first thing we're going to do is to download the Provideam setup application. We do this from the Provideam website www.provideam.com. So opening our Internet Explorer or other web browser, we type in our Provideam address, opening the Provideam homepage. On the homepage there is a link for our Provideam demo trial version. So we want to download the fully functional demo application. If we click the Download Now button, it opens a page where we enter a few registration details. And click the Send button. Once we click the Send button, an email will be sent to us at the email address we provided from support@provideam.com. So just ensure that that email address doesn't end up in your junk mail or spam. So you would expect to receive the email within a couple of minutes. Okay, so here I've received the email, and if I look at the details of the email, it outlines how to install the application and where to download it. So clicking on the download link provided within the email, we can save the application to our server or PC. The application is quite large because it includes the Microsoft Database Engine as well as the Provideam setup files. So jumping along to the end of the download, we may get a warning message which Windows 7 in this case is throwing up. Here I'll select more options so that I can acknowledge the warning and accept anyway. And I'm going to run the application directly. The next thing I want to show you is how to install IIS. IIS, the Microsoft Internet Information Server application, is a Windows component which hosts websites. Provideam being a website, this is a prerequisite for running the Provideam application. So if we go to our Windows control panel, and look for Programs and Features. I'm demonstrating here on a Windows 7 PC, Windows 7 Professional. Turn on Windows Features and look for the Internet Information Services. So we can check that on, and as an addition to that, we need to ensure that some extra features are installed, which are our .NET and ASP.NET features. So once you've selected those, you can click OK, and Windows will automatically install the IIS server. You may be prompted at this point for your original Windows disks. In our example here, those files are already available on the hard drive of the machine. Once that is completed, we'll restart the PC. Then logging on to the PC again following our restart. Once the PC has rebooted and we're back in control, we will be ready then to install the Provideam application. So that's our next step. We are going to install the Provideam application. One thing to ensure is that you are actually going to run the application as an administrator. So if you right-click on the application, you'll get that option to run as an administrator, and then follow the steps through to install. So first we're going to accept the license if we agree, and we're going to install a full version. Sometimes you will be prompted to install Kepware as well. In this case, Kepware, our OPC server of choice, is already installed, so we don't get that option to install it again. I also have checked there that the Provideam demo application is installed. If we had not checked that, we would be installing a blank database, which is appropriate if you're creating a new instance of Provideam and going to set up your own configuration. This time we are going to use the demo setup so that we can simulate what might be a real-life type application. So the setup application runs away pretty much automatically, installing the website, installing the database engine, and then the Provideam database files, installing the Provideam services, etc., etc. We can see that the Provideam desktop icon has already been created. The shortcut allows us to open the Provideam application directly by double-clicking on the icon. So now we're just waiting for the database server installation to complete. This takes a few minutes. It's a largish application. Now we install the Provideam database. We update the database to the latest version. Update the dictionary with any new keys for language or translation. And just finishing the installation now. The last thing we do is to install the Provideam services. And once the application installation has completed, a message box appears and we simply click Finish to complete the installation. It is always recommended at this point also to reboot the PC. So now, assuming the PC has rebooted, we double-click on our icon, which brings us directly to the Provideam login page for our application. So to log in, I'm going to use my administrator details, which is admin, both with a capital A, and click the login button. And this brings me to the default Provideam page, which is the OE dashboard. Okay, so now to generate some simulated data using the Provideam demo application. We can see from the Start Programs menu option that the Provideam demo application is installed, and we click Start. If you have a number of OPC servers, you will get a choice as to which one you want to use. So in this case, I'm using the Kepware version 5 OPC server. So to start the demo, we need to restart Kepware as well as the Provideam services, and then our Provideam demo application starts up. The purpose of the demo application is to provide simulated information for the configuration which we have set up as a demo for Provideam. Within the demo application, we have a number of machines, 3 assembly machines and 2 molding machines configured, and the demo application cycles through some pre-saved data and stores that data in an OPC server where it's collected by the normal Provideam data collection services. It'll take a couple of minutes for Provideam to start to collect this information as it begins to configure itself. So we can now see for assembly machine 1 that the demo application is showing mode as output block, and we now see on the Provideam application that it has picked up that change in mode and now showing the output block. And if we click on auto update or click on the refresh as well, we will see that the upper table is also updating, and we can see the good part counts and defect counts have now got some real values in them. If you close the demo application, it will stop the demo data being inserted into the OPC server. So now, just as a sort of a tutorial, I'm just going to show you the Kepware configuration in the background. So we've got the configuration, and then we also are showing Kepware's OPC Quick Connect client, which allows us to see what information is stored in the OPC server. So our Provideam application, our demo application, sorry, is inserting information into the OPC server, which we can see here in the OPC client, and that information is being picked up in the background by Windows services, which we can see here in the Provideam application. So here are our data collection services. The Provideam OE monitoring service is the main one, which collects information for the OE aspect of Provideam. And reverting to the dashboard, we can see now that the mode has changed to not log in the demo, and that's been picked up in our dashboard as well. So thank you for watching the Provideam demo setup training video. If you would like to discuss your application in any more detail, please don't hesitate to contact me, Paul Mitchell, at provideam.com.